Hey guys, Twins here.
You know the preacher curl, but you might not be doing it right.
Alright, so you've been working out, maybe you're new to the game, maybe you've been doing it for a while, and you're really having trouble getting bigger arms. You're watching videos on YouTube and you're like, okay, so people are doing these things to help get bigger arms. What am I doing wrong? Well, other than genetics, because genetics is a big play in it. But there's one thing you could be doing right, that the movement's right, but you're doing it wrong.
You may be asking yourself, how is that possible? It's a machine. You know, I'm already isolated as much as I possibly can be. You know, it's for the biceps, you know. It's like I'm not doing, like, bench pressing on the squat rack. You know, it's like I'm not using the wrong machines for these muscle groups. How am I not doing it properly, right?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Something you might think very deep and spiritual. Muscle building, bodybuilding is very much like time travel. If you change one thing, it can alter the final destination in ways you may never imagine. Except with bodybuilding, you can predict it. And what I'm really talking about is body angles. The angles of attack. Simply changing angles in any of the movements. If you're doing bench press, if you change any of the angles, it can result in it can have different results. Some good, some bad. Like, I'll say, for instance, a bad movement, if you're doing bench press, and then instead of coming straight up, maybe you go down or something, you could be messing up with your joints. That's one thing. But when it comes to doing curls, because we're talking about preacher curls like we said, when you're doing preacher curls, the most important thing is to make sure you have a nice straight line. I'm going to line me up right quick. So when you're doing the preacher curl, as you'll see in the video, what you want is you want your shoulder to come straight down and to your middle finger, right through your middle finger. Nice vertex. And you're coming up, and you're just doing it like that, bringing your middle finger right to your front deltoid, right in the middle of if you could picture your middle finger splitting your shoulder, the width of your shoulder. That is the biggest key for building not only a head, but also a width of a bicep.
And you might be wondering, like, why does this make a difference? Well, the wider out your arm goes this way as you're curling, that can affect the actual muscle being used. You might use your forearm a little more, you might use your back, which are, you know, not the point of these isolation machines, but at the same time, the reason why you want to go in line, you want your arm to stay on the same axis, is like every other thing. Like if you were to take a higher level math class, you'd see that a lot of things in nature depend on 0 and 90 degrees. Because that's where a lot of the max and min happen. So when we say that you want to be in line, it means that the forces that are acting at the proper location for the muscle to contract. So this is the optimal angle of contraction for the bicep.
It causes optimal symmetry too, if you think like that. Both sides of the head, because it's a bicep, there's two muscles there. Both are being activated evenly.
So a reason why you might be doing it wrong is, one, and this is the biggest reason, it's probably the only reason, you're doing too much weight. If you're doing too much weight, your form's going to go bad. You know that. Everyone knows that. It's a common logic at the gym. Your form's bad, it's because you're doing too much weight. No, I mean, you need to stop worrying what other people think you're doing. Who cares if a chick just got off the preacher curl and you're taking off weights to do less weight? You do what you gotta do. You understand? You do what you gotta do. Because one day, with proper form, you will be doing more weight. That's just going to happen. It's science.
But the thing with biceps, really, it's not about how much weight you can do. It's how much volume can you do. These are muscles that are meant to be able to move things a lot, hold a lot, keep things static, which means no motion. Keep things from coming down and up. These things aren't meant to be lifting hundreds of pounds.
Yeah, we don't consider the bicep a primary muscle group. We consider it a secondary muscle group. The primary muscle groups are your back and your legs, your core, but for the most part, you're going to consider your arms, definitely your forearms, secondary muscle groups. They're not the primary. If you were in nature, right, let's say before gyms even came about or whatever, let's go way back in time. Your arms are not going to be the primary movers of boulders, trees, dragging mammoths, all that stuff. No, you're going to be using your back and your legs. Those are your primary muscle groups. So if you're going to the gym for your health, you need to make a priority for your back and legs. And when you do a muscle group like this, it's fine to do it for more aesthetic, superficial reasons because, again, everyone thinks, or society, that the bicep determines strength. Don't know how that came about. I guess it's the only muscle that people can see. Mm-hmm. But whatever the case is, definitely make a priority for your back and legs. And when you do this, definitely don't care what other people are thinking about you.